smoke a bit of pollen, you know what I mean? I don't smoke skunk weed or anything like that. It says it's psychotic, you know what I mean? If you had a crystal ball, we'd all know that. I mean, I can't even, predict the future. I mean, I can't even, my missus says, what time are you going to be back in? I said, really? What sort of question is that? I mean, how would I know? Unless I've got a crystal ball, you know what I mean? Or, unless I'm Mystic Meg. And for me, I just love music, you know what I mean? It's everything to me. It's everything, more than anything, it's like my best friend, it's my worst friend, it's me, it's like strange of music. And I don't really mind talking about anything, to be truthful. I'm just done with the book at the moment, and that's been really interesting, because the film that's been made, and finally it's coming to fruition, and Netflix have come and stepped in and said that they're happy to put some funding into it to get it up to scratch, and that's much more of a life story, more of a cross between Forrest Gump and Great Rock and Roll Swindle, like the story of how I started off and how the club rose to fame and how to be getting the keys to the city at the end of it, with the big symphonic orchestra and all that. So, but within the book, it's like, it's telling it all. I'm not holding any bars back at all, you know what I mean? Right. Even for the kids or whatever, and I'll ex-girlfriends. I think people have to, if you're gonna do a biography, because you couldn't make this shit up. What's happened to me, you could not make up. You can't. I mean, it's like impossible. We're just reading Danny Sugarman's Wonderland Avenue, and it's much more like a novel, you know what I mean? It's very well written. It's a well written book for a young man, but it's a young man that hasn't really lived, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And as far as like rock and roll antics goes, it's it's a bit tame, you know what I mean? To say the least, you know what I mean? As far as 60s, it's very tame, you know what I mean? And my book's gonna probably it's gonna be borderline or somewhere. I mean, it's gonna make even Fear and Loathing look like a Janet and John book or something, like your first reading, learning books. But I'm going to put it into it, and there's some funny things but I'm going to out myself more than anything. Things that nobody really needs to know, like just silly little things, 1 minute we could be in the Hyatt on Sunset with Lemmy or with running around with Monday MC or Public Enemy or back in the days of the Clash, but then I'll just tell a little anecdote about when I had a wank in the steam room and an old lady slipped I've just finished and an old lady slipped, there's not even there. You know what I mean? It's just to put things into perspective, I don't take myself that seriously. And as I was helping her up in my flip-flops, I'm saying, that's where I wear flip-flops down when I come down and self club. I said, I'm sure people just sitting here or something and, baffled, you know what I mean? She said, oh, gosh, look, I didn't bang my head there. I said, yeah, so I might step pardon. I said, just remember the flip-flops.
Ching.
Tintin fella, long time.
Long time.
Yeah.
The drink of Dave Beer's choice is pretty much red wine. It's always been red wine.
It's always been red. If it's red, I'll drink it. If it's white, I'll sniff it. But that was an old saying.
Well, I'll tell you now, we've got like an hour to get through pretty much your journey.
Fucking hell.
I know.
Good luck there. It's funny, I asked Alexa the other day, because everybody's going on asking questions. Somebody in the room went, who's Dave Beer? And Alexa just pointed at me. Dave Beer is a Yorkshire music model. Back for the days of blah blah blah. King of the clubs and all this and that. Pissing myself.
Yeah. And
you start thinking you never do, but it was somebody else who said it in the room, and up pipes Alexa. You know what I mean? I thought, fucking hell, fine. We're all out in the future when everything's wired, and we're all nobody's going to get away with nothing.
You mentioned when I walked in, you were painting and stuff, and you went to art school, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. I mean, it was just not by choice, not, I wanted to be on tour de Clash, I was sick to death of it. Where I lived, in Poppy Factory, it was a really hardcore fighting town. It was like, it had 56 pubs in a square mile, so it was in the Guinness Book of Records. Not only that, it's known from the days of Cromwell and John Morris and all of the Cavaliers and Roundheads fighting. I mean, there's a castle there, the Royal Mint was there. It's only a little town. I went down the pit.
Yeah.
Oh, that was it. The only other occupation was the dole, which obviously is a very common, occupation these days. Everybody preferred to be on the dole and do anything else. But back then, you got everything paid for anyway, so I think it's a bit lenient now. But personally, I've never been on the dole. Never once in my life, couldn't work it out where to go, what to do. So, yeah. So you'll have a minor, and you look in this town with all these pubs. So it was really a man's town, and it was like the only occupation besides being on the dole was the squaddies, the American squaddies who come, because there's an army barracks there. So bear in mind, Pontefract's not got the best of. Sorry ladies, but some lookers there, but there's not that many to go around, you know what I mean? So these Scottish turn up with the stocking, and bear in mind, it's a battleground, it always has been. So I don't know why, but there's something also quite edgy and magical about that little place. But if you could fight, you were fucked, you know what I mean? You really were. It's a battleground. Every pub, 56 pubs, it was in the Guinness Book of Records. There were more pubs in a square mile. One nightclub, and then they opened another one. First place I ever got my nose broken, in fact. Yeah, I got 30 quid compensation, so back then, there's quite a lot. That's like
30 quid?
40 odd years ago, 40 or something years ago, 30 quid, so that's about, what did you say, 300 quid or something?
Yeah.
There's only about 12 punks in Pontefract anyway, you know what I mean? So we'd always get chased and beaten up by all dressers and teddy boys and that, and thinking funny to pin us down and pee on us and that. When they were in the pub, we'd just turn the lighters up and go back to his tables, and like soon as I let us sing, to set the quips on fire. Funny things, like all the funny ones are best. This guy with massive quips just staring at me, like, just daggers, you know what I mean? Just a lot, there's only me in the pub, and I'm like, what do you want? He's good. And I'm like, really? Even back then, I just thought this mentality, that's why I got into music, to get out of all that football violence that was going on in the 70s and stuff like that. And I was like, what, really? When he went to the toilet, I just thought, fuck it. I went over the way his sink and lighter was and just turned his lighter up full and went and sat back down. So he comes zipping himself up, sits at his table, and he's still staring at me like that. He's like, you fucking, you're going to get it and all that. I thought, really? But this time I started giggling because I knew what he didn't know. So like, the flame of his light was like this high, and he's got a quip out here. So as soon as he puts his cig in his mouth, I'm starting to giggle. So that's what gave it away. He's just staring at me. Come on, see, giving it, you know what I mean? Put the cig in his mouth. I'm fucking holding my nose like that, and he just lit it, and it just went, just disintegrated it. But I just hit the deck laughing. Sometimes when I was a roadie, I'm in the best roadie, so if I weren't going to get on the next tour, if I weren't sure, and the tour party would be in somewhere like LA or something, and it's an old trick I used to do. I cover myself in tissue paper, like a mummy sort of thing, and somebody backfired on them later on when I set them up. I used to get up onto the balcony, pull underneath, set myself on fire, solid paper, it's just flying up. It looks worse than it is. So you dive off and you're on fire, and must have been all these screams into the pool. So, and these which got higher and higher sometimes, these pools. And I've only ever misjudged it once, and I didn't realise I couldn't see the springboard, it was from where I was. So but luckily I hit it on just to get my shoulder on the springboard, but that's the worst that ever happened out of that. But I always got another tour.
So that was a clash?
All seem to gel into one these days. With the clash, I never went to America. That's why I went to art school. Because I was only 15 when I was first started running away with the clash. When I say run away, I just run off on tour and follow them everywhere. And just saying, got to know them. I climbed through the window once and been beat up by the security for about an hour. And I climbed into the dressing room by mistake. And I couldn't even believe I landed. I didn't even know where I landed until I hit the floor, you know what I mean? And stood up there and all sat there, you know, going, what the fuck are you? And I'm like, never mind who I am, like you are the most important thing in my life, you know what I mean? Like you're that's it. And I said, but listen, besides that, there's a big bloke gonna come here in a minute, you know what I mean? It's a girly guy, he's a big fucking taste me, he's just done this to me. And they said, nah, get under there. So they got me under like this table, and lo and behold, security come in. You haven't seen a little kid in a kilt, have you? You know what I mean? Red hair, you know what I mean? And like I might have a bloody nose, you know. They're all like, no, it's like there's blood out the window. And like, no, I'm not seeing him, you know. So I went out, so they're going, who are you? You know, where are you from? I'm going, I'm dead, you know what I mean? Dead beer. Is that you, man? And it's like, well, I know Joe Stummer's not yours, but then, you know, give me a break, guys, come on, you know what I mean? Like, fucking, wow. Just incredible for me, and I like, could only get my head around it. I said, how old are you? I said, I'm 18. And I'm like, how old? I'm 18. How old? 17. It's like, I said, I'm 16. I said, you're younger than that, aren't you? I said, oh, fucking hell. I said, no, anyway, I'm like, I'd try something I try not to do so much now, but I did bend the tooth. But they got it out of me that I was 15. Got my mum's number, rung my mum, your son's here. And my mum's like, yeah, I know all about you. You know what I mean? She said, bloody white light, she's going, she said, you better be looking after my boy. You know what I mean? And I said, look, we're trying to stop looking after me, I'm looking after me safe, but we want to get rid of him, we're trying to get him to come home. And she goes, yeah, no, he was supposed to be coming home, he's good at stuff, you know. You know, he's like, but he's a little bugger, it's only me and him. So, and I'd had, you know, several dads by this time, a lot of domestic violence. So I was off, you know, it was a no-brainer for me to get out that time, you know what I mean? And just get anywhere, but the class just happened to be the one thing that really floated my boat. So off I popped, and but I just turned up everywhere, so eventually, you know, I think I was just turned 16, and then they were just having nothing, and Joe had said, done a deal with me, he said, look, if you go back, if you go and do what you want to go to art school, right? If you do this, well, we've got America anyway, you can't come with us anyway, we've got America, so you know, like, so you're not going to see us for at least a year or more anyway, so it was like, I was gutted at that news more than anything, and going home, you know, I was thinking, straight away I was thinking America, I'll do that, but I just did that deal, so I went back and did art school for a bit, you know. Yeah, could get thrown up and going off with different bands, you know what I mean, like The Cure and people later on, like the Sisters and Cocktails and stuff. But it was in and out, but they were true to the word, you know, and every time I was passion on tour, you know what I mean, I'd turn up and they'd give me a proper laminate, you know, like, wherever they could, I'd be, you know, going around, I'd always be helping out, you know, like, not an official roadie as such, but, you know, in them days, anything to get, you know, around with the band was good enough, you know what I mean?
You still playing guitar?
Yeah, I do. I'll tell you what I love is that. But this little fella, like, all of a sudden you could just go into you ain't nothing more. You ain't nothing but a dog. Right on time. Well, you ain't never got a life. Ain't no better mind.
Absolutely.
Cancel at a late night.
Oh yeah.
I would say I'm sorry for heartbreak, but
Right.
I know that is too late. I've said too much, been too unkind. It's just the truth. You know, I mean, I've seen that band 50 times, 60 times, maybe, easily, over the years, but I mean, they've never let me down, you know what I mean, never let me down once, so. You know, like, they've never have let me down. You know, it's like, to this day, I mean, I was really worried to it for about one time at festival. I thought, shit, how are they going to pull this off? You know what I mean? I don't know really why I was worried in the slightest, but there was all these like 16, 17, 18-year-old club kids, you know what I mean? And the Cure headlined at festival out of the line. I mean, it just tore it up, you know what I mean? I was just like, that is, for me, that was like really, really special because it was about the same time I'd seen 16-year-old kids, you know, like getting it, you know what I mean? Totally getting it as well, you know what I mean? Not just like, you can honestly go like, it's one of them old men just totally having it, and it was the most phenomenal thing. Because they've got that feel about them, haven't they, you know what I mean? And, I mean, like, the Clash, they gave me, taught me about rebellion, you know, standing up for my rights, you know, they taught me about black people, you know what I mean, believe it or not, because there's a big national front continuity around in the late 70s, and you know, racial issues, and I learned a lot from them, you know what I mean, like, you know, about that kind of just, you know, really sort of like, yeah, sticking up for yourself sort of thing, and for what's right though, you know, not just sticking up for anything, you know, having some kind of moralistic viewpoint on life, whereas the Cure just gave me romance and love, and just tweaky, I love the fact that this guy had the balls to slap some lipstick on, and just not really look in the mirror when he back on his hair, and then just walks on stage, you know what I mean, and just the purity of him, and him and his missus been together all those years throughout, you know what I mean, and there's something like rock and roll about it, you know what I mean. I think that's why recently they found it funny that they were in the Hall of Fame, you know what I mean. And then when they were interviewed, Robert was like, well, you seem more excited about it than we do, you know, to the girl, you know what I mean. It's quite funny. It's like, but it probably was, she probably was, you know what I mean. It's like, they don't do it for that, you know. It's like, I think sometimes in life, it's like, people say things have a shelf life, you know, like, and maybe they do. But then again, you know, you have your exceptions, you know, like the Stones, you know what I mean? Like, and for certain, like the Cure, you know what I mean? Much more so than the Stones, but, you know, but they're a bit younger. But it's like phenomenal when you see a career that spans like 40, 50 years. It's like, it is like, and still to be consistent.
It's amazing, isn't it?
You know what I mean? And songs like Love Song, again, you know, I've always been a sucker for lyrics. You know, what do you call a love song? I can't think of a love song, right? But, you know, however far away, the lyrics in I will always love you.
Can you
No
put it?
matter words I say, I will always love you. It's just like, one of the most beautiful things, you know, ever.
Yeah.
Getting about something.
No, absolutely. Listen,
It's like,
absolutely. Yeah.
Because, you know, I just loved every little bit of it, you know, whenever I'm alone
With you. That.
Okay, it's like, yeah, there's accents on it, it's just perfect, you know what I mean, and staying, like pictures of you for that as well, you know what I mean, because it's like sentimental, you know, in such in a melancholy way, looking back on you know, at photographs and like, but like, photographs you only can feel, you know, it's the only things that are real, you know, it's like, and I you know, we've all had moments in his lives like that, you know, but again, you know, like, you know, if only I thought of the right words, that's another one, I wouldn't be breaking apart.
Unbelievable lyricism.
Yeah,
unbelievable melodies though as well. Instrumentation as well.
And the bass line as well, also, I think he's died, doesn't he? I don't know. Somebody mentioned, but I quite like the new bass, but I don't normally like replacements. But he's mint, you know what I mean? He's like, plays like Paul Simon, and even lower his bass. But,
and in the pocket.
Yeah,
in the pocket, on the money.
That rhythm thing, on all day long, you know what I mean? And like to play bass that low and move about like that, and he said hit it with the drum, because he's like, He's not looking at the drummer, he's on one, you know what I mean? He's rock and roll personified, you know what I mean? And it's special.
You took music out of your life?
Well, it's like, it's like, again, like we're talking about the longevity of certain things having shelf life. There's people that like music, you know what I mean? Tend to be young people, you know what I mean? And then there's people that dance to it, again, tend to be young people, you know, and then there's people that make music, and then there's people that, you know, perform music, and then there's people that just are music. It's hard to explain. It's just like, you know, there's a certain stage in your life where there ain't any getting out of it. It's not, there's no alternative, you know, that's it, you know what I mean? And it's inside you, you know what I mean? And it's like constantly, you know, I've always walked around looking at life from a director's lens, you know, like from a viewpoint of stuff, you know, it's quite funny, so, which makes me do things, you know, I always giggle because I see things as in a film. And I've always got a pair of headphones on, but without invisible headphones, you know, there's always a song in my head. Every bit of trouble I've been in, every time I've fallen in love, every fight, every skirmish, every really dangerous situation, there's a song going up in my head, you know, and I can remember them all. So like when with the book, I'm actually putting them in, you know, when I've got, you know, been woken from airplanes in Miami with guns in my head, and I'm thinking, and you're talking heads just come straight into me as soon as I come round up the Tomasi Bank, and you may find yourself, and it's just like, it's just straight away, and the days go by, how did I get here? And it's just straight in my head, you know, but it stops the fear, you know, and again, you know, that confidence in certain situations. I was younger, I would say I couldn't pull a bird to save my life until I got a nightclub. What's in part of the truth, you know. But I found out that, you know, the pages had been opened a lot that I've not been reading, but then again, I'm dyslexic, so maybe that was to let me off with that one. But, you know, like girls would come up to me like years and years later, 10 years after, girls I, you know, totally smitten with me, saying, you know, that time you walked me home, I never understood why you didn't make a move. And no, please don't tell me this now. No, you know what I mean? And it was like, I was the guy that walks from home, and my mate ended up doing everything I wanted to do. You know what I mean? But I was like, ended up being a nice guy that walked him home and made sure they were home safe, and then ended up being like, oh, I love you like a brother when he finally came out. You know what I mean? Love you like you're a brother.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I love you like a brother, but
That's
you
what
know,
I'm saying,
but your sister, I'd like not to love like a brother if you got sister.
Right, I'm going to read something now to you, and because it'll go on to the next kind of part of your life. Someone wrote in a book on Primal Scream in 2003 called The Scream. Yeah?
Yeah.
He said, if there was a Clubland version of Primal Scream, it was back to basics. Why does he think of that comparison?
At that time, we were all good mates, you know what I mean? Screamadelica, or, I mean, whether all had just produced that, it's groundbreaking, you know what I mean? And we were all like kindred spirits, we were just at it, you know what I mean? Like, by that time, I'd come into quite a bit of coin, quite a lot of coin at that time. And I mean, like, from going from being getting PDs, you know what I mean? And then getting back, you know, just get 50 quid a day, then getting given equivalent now, you know, what's anything between 5 to 10 grand a week. Me and Ali, you know what I mean? And we thought taxes were something you just went home in, you know, not, you know, like something you had to pay, you know what I mean? So we were looking at rock and roll fantasies, you know, we were just everywhere, we were in New York, we were all over the place, and the Scream just happened to be touring a lot of that time, and we had a really close friendship with a lot of them, you know, even like for the management, for like, you know, Alan McGee, and, you know, and Alex Nightingale, whose mum put me in his mum's book. I don't think he's in his mum's biography, I am. It's about the photograph. I was like, and I know Annie, but not that so well, but I was like, pretty stoked with that one. It's mad when you're in books, right? That's another thing you mentioned, the book thing. It's like, when you're in magazines, you know, yeah, they've got shelf life, as we know, top shelf life in my case, but, you know, really, it's like, when you're in a book, you know, and you're publishing in a British library forever, you know what I mean? You're like, if you look at it in a way of like, was it worth it? It's like, well, I'm there forever, you know, like, when, you know, sometimes I liken it to, I'll be reading a book from the 18th century or something, or just, you know, just flicking through it and you know, they've mentioned somebody, you know what I mean, in this book, you know what I mean, a character that might be reminiscent, you know, of himself or somebody I know or whatever, and I think that's mad, that guy is like really a nobody in the big picture. It's not just Shakespeare. He's maybe like Shakespeare's, you know, mate or something, but he's in this book forever and ever, and I think there's something immortalising about it to an extent that it's like everything's worth it, you know, like, you know, I mean, like, you know, I don't know why Oasis want to live forever, you know what I mean, because I certainly don't, you know what I mean, but you know, but then again, I think there's also that's an analogy to, you know, you and I live forever, it's like, you know, like, we've done it, mate, you know, we've done it, our kid, it's done, you know what I mean, we've just come back, we've just done Main Road, you know what I mean, it's on football ground, we've done it, you know, and I'm going to live forever. Like, amazing, you know what I mean? It was like, I was at Main Road that day as well with his mum and dad and everything, with their mum and Patsy Kensington. I've had a few photos come moments, and
That was
I was
incredible.
going to make Matthews, yeah, it was quite, yeah, you couldn't hear the band for the crowd singing, you know what I mean? It was like, you could not hear them, you know what I mean? Especially songs like Wonderwall or Impossible, I mean, you couldn't hear anything, you know, except for that. And I was just looking at his mum, and I was like, and they'd had a little fallout. I said, no, they'd looked down the back in anger, swapped the set times round, and I was like, and while he was like, Liam had that infinity stare on sat on the sulking on with his gob open, staring into infinity, you know what I mean, off the drum riser, and I must have been just looking at that, you know, his own football ground, just thinking, fuck, you know what I mean? Fuck. Wow, we've done it. My top tip for Glastonbury that they're going to be there this year.
You think we'll get back together?
Yeah, I mean, if I know record companies, like I know record companies and brothers, right, I know brothers and all that too. It's like, Noel hasn't been left with much of a choice after that last song, the new song. I mean, have you heard it? You know, the one that the doors are open, you know what I mean? And then I saw, and the Foo Fighters had them on the drum kit, on the bass drum, you know, when they headlined Glastonbury this year, didn't they? And I thought that's weird. But a few little synchronicities there, I spotted.
Some little clues kind of thing.
Yeah, and I thought, like, you know, well, how can Noel turn this one down? His mouth's going to be going up. It's a bit, you know, for the cocky little cunt, it's a pretty soppy song, you know what I mean? It's photographs, melancholy black and white photos of little boys, and he's like saying, I miss my brother, you know what I mean? So,
It's a message, isn't it?
and he'd never, yeah, but it's not, I know for the fact it won't be Liam's idea, you know what I mean? I don't think he wrote that song, all those lyrics, but, you know, but I think record companies are shoes with that one. That's when it comes into that, you know what I mean?
Back to basics and stuff.
Yeah.
Incredible journey again. Massive part of your life. The Daft Punk Groove Armada.
Yeah.
You pretty much. You
Well,
pretty much made them bands, pretty much, didn't you? Would you say?
I wouldn't say I made them. I mean, the record companies and they themselves made themselves, but I'm very instrumental in giving them a nudge or a platform or to perform in the right time, the right place. You know what I mean? We found Daft Punk in a little pub in Paris, listening to it and said, what's this? And they're saying we're Daft Punk, and I'm saying, no, I'm the Daft Punk. You know what I mean? What do you mean? What's this? Only Thomas could speak English. I said, anyway, off the spur, I said, do you want to come back to England with us, you know, and play at this thing for Tony Wilson in the city in Manchester? And I said, give him all this music. He gave me the homework album on the cassette, which I just passed straight on to Caroline Pomeroy, who was David Guetta's manager now. I passed it straight on to her, to Virgin, to check this out. You know what I mean? You haven't heard anything like it, you know what I mean? It's been really a bit odd. You haven't heard anything like it, you know what I mean? And she said, you know, well, let's get to France, which he did later. But I was like, fuck, you know what I mean? Get to France, it's fucking something else, isn't it? And I mean, I could imagine, you know, like, dum, 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 dum. It was just like, what the fuck is going on here, you know what I mean? It was like something, you know, really, really good moment. So like, I got back to in the city, Sloan was signed the first single. All this gets missed out on that documentary, by the way. It's quite funny. I keep thinking when I was watching that Unchained Daft Punk,
Yeah.
oh, here we come. You know what I mean? And then there's like, it's even not even for Caroline Probable. There's some other head of Virgin talking about as if it was like, it's funny how they smell over things, but the band I never forgotten. And
That's amazing.
on other people. But I mean, I suppose I've learnt a lot about film and being in editing floors and like books lately, you know what I mean? You know, I feel blessed that I've had so many beautiful mentors in my life, you know, as well as really close friends like Howard Marks, like Joe Stummer, like Evan Welsh, you know, and been in some most extraordinary situations that people just don't find themselves in, you know what I mean? Not a boy from Throwback Council estate.
Well, you've definitely got a soundtrack of your life, haven't you? All set. I bet you've got, like you mentioned, the music takes you back to somewhere, you've woken up and you've heard a song, it's like, you've got it set.
I mean, the sound is a soundtrack, yeah, definitely. I don't know which track. I mean, it started for years, but I mean, I think I'm getting over that. But it was in when I was in a coma with my wife, like, and went off with one of my best mates, somebody I made quite well known, and that was heavy, you know what I mean? And I never, you know, and then just after that, I got to play on stage. It was Joe had died. It was a summer ago, but I played on the West Way with the rest of the class and Keith Allen and a load of us, and we did. I had my White Let's Fall. Who's ever got that? Fucking bring it back, please. It got stolen. Love that guitar more than any woman I've ever known, but Mick Jones came on stage and played as well. He played that guitar and he said, what are we going to do? And the next thing he I said to him, Training Bain, and then he went, won't you stand? Nobody else to sing it, Kissy Hinders there, but I'm the only boy there on stage, so I mean, Kissy sing, you know, my young man, tell me something I don't understand. You said you love me, but you know, I made up by just gesticulating rather than put my bad vocal, but you know, pulled it off, couldn't believe it, you know what I mean? And it was like, so that song really stood by me all my life, you know. You didn't stand by me, no, not at all. Don't stand by me, no way. Did you lie when you spoke to me? You know what I mean? It's just all that. That's what you just get these last bits.
How long have you been paying for Dave?
This is my first thing I've done for years and years and years. So it's like...
Again, Dave, you got Toddler's Thrill?
Yeah, it's in the basement.
Right.
No, but I went to art school, but I just kept dropping out because I kept going on tour with the Clash, you know, so...
Yeah.
So that was the deal. If I went back to art school, that I could go on tour with the Clash again. So that's the deal I made with Joe Stummer. So I had to go back, but I mean, I only went to art school to get into a band anyway, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I never had any intention of being like an artist or anything like that, but in any way, shape or form, just wanted to be in a band, like, you know, like the Clash or Susie Banshees or whoever else was coming out of art school back then. So that's how I got in, because I didn't have any, obviously blatantly didn't have any O-levels or A-levels when I came out. He'd given me that, I don't know why he didn't leave it to his kids, that one. And there's me and Alan, that's it when we won the award up, and then this one was like, 2 days before he passed it. You know what I mean, but it was...
What were you like?
Oh, mate, I mean, I've been so blessed to have had a man like that in my life. It's just insane. It's like, such a beautiful human being. Like, I mean, like, only man I never known who could just put a storm to quiet in an instant, you know, just with a little anecdote or just the way he talks and his calm manner. Never to raise his voice, you know, like for anything, you know what I mean? And people, he just calmed down, you know, and he always had the most off-kilter advice, you know, but it tended to work for me. It was like, you know, I went clean for a year once, and I jolly clean, and it was the most boring year of my life, to be truthful, but I felt good, looked good, you know. I'd been in Peru, because I tend to go there for a bit of a cleansing now and then to the Seas of Shame and in the Amazon. But then, you know, Howard was like, you don't look very happy to me, Dave. He said, if I was you, I'd get back on the drugs. And I'm like laughing, thinking, like, he's the only one that said something like that. But, you know, I didn't take his advice then, but he was right. There was something like it. But, you know, and as far as it being easy, he said, it's never going to be easy for you, Dave. You know, it's always going to be difficult. You wouldn't like easy anyway.
I'm getting chilled. That is incredible. Like, have you got his voice to a T?
You wouldn't like it. It'd be boring to you, you know. It came to living Leeds after I met him, you know, not long after he wrote the book. And he was just my companion, and I miss him every day, because like, you know, I don't know what to turn to sometimes, because I'm the top of the chocolate box in my family, and there's nobody left either. There's only the kids, so, you know, it's hard, you know, to have that, and people come to me for advice all the time, and you know what I mean, you know, like, on certain life issues, but there's things that, you know, I'd like to be able to ask somebody something sometimes. And I asked Kevin, you know what I mean, but he'll just always make a joke of everything anyway, so everything me and they'll be talking about, it's just like I'm living some kind of crazy next chain spotting or something. Howard said, he said, I do remember you once saying to somebody though, he said, because you said, commented on this guy's commented and he couldn't understand me, which I understand now, it took me a long time, but because I don't understand myself sometimes. And he said, he said, you may not understand me. He said, or anything I'm saying right now. He said, you may only get 10%. He said, but I can assure you this, that 10% will be fucking excellent. And I was like, well, I said that. I was buzzing, and I love it. I was like, that's a quote, isn't it? It's a real quote, isn't it? And he's like, and before you get carried away with yourself, he said, just think what you could have achieved if they'd have understood the other 90%. I was like, yeah, fine. Wow, we've done all right, mate. You know, well, it looks that way, but so,
how much marijuana did he actually smoke?
More than anybody else I've ever met in my life.
Yeah.
But it backfired on him a little bit, you know what I mean, because he was always, and it was him until he just stopped smoking skunk weed, about the psychotic effects it has, you know, like, you know, and schizophrenia and all these things. I thought, this is crazy, or get down in the dumps, your tolerance levels. I said, like, just change your brew. And I said, it can't be that. Just give it a little go for me. So, you know, it gave me some pollen and lo and behold, after I started to put my ideas up after a couple of weeks, it was like socially that all the time, and with everything else on top, all the other cocktails, and it was that hit the nail on the head. And advice that I passed on to people, and who then thanked me for it later. Yeah, it's like kind of crazy, but he, when he got the news about the cancer, somebody gave him some oil. And being Howard, he just drank ounces of it, you know, he drank, so he only looked prepared. So and he went insane, they sectioned him, and I had to spend like a week in a real mental asylum with him, you know what I mean? We were surrounded by all these mental people, and I was like, and I didn't quite understand about the oil that he took the oil. I thought it was just a shock or the drug or whatever, to think to just take his toll, you know what I mean? And I was thinking, I was sat with him in tears, just thinking, this is it, take me now, you know what I mean? This is what I've got to look forward to, you know what I mean? I ain't going here, I'm not having this, you know what I mean? I want to see my friend, my best friend like this. But the funny thing was, he was always Howard, even when he didn't know who he was, and he was gone. And he'd been giving his things away, and he was like, you know, and to all the other impatients. It was total one flew over the cuckoo's nest. I mean, real stitches on the head, lobotomy characters coming in, you know what I mean? You know, straight jacket up and all. Oh, mate, it was like something else, and Howard was right in the middle of it. I've never seen him violent, ever. Not like, but he attacked a nurse and that, and it was kind of, you know, just like, he just didn't know where he was. He just drank so much of the stuff. But he came round anyway. Well, a good thing about things like cannabis, I suppose, they wear up after a while.
How was Millennium Square for you?
Oh, mate. The councillor called me in. And I thought, well, I'm late as usual. I thought, what have I done this time? You know, I've gone in and said, oh, thought I was in trouble again. For some, like, maybe a licensing or something, you know what I mean? Only times I've ever been there is for things like that. So they said, no, for a change, it's for what you have done, you know, culturally and economically for the city. And we want to make you an honorary citizen of Leeds, you know what I mean, an honorary son of the city, which is like getting the keys to the city. So if I had cattle, I could march it through the middle of town on a Saturday afternoon or whatever. And, I don't, but it has its advantages. But I was like, but they said we'd like to stage this event as well. And, you know, these classical things that Pete Tong's been doing. I said, yeah, well, it's been done. I don't do following like that. And they were like, well, and I said, it's a great opportunity. We've got an opera hall, 50-piece orchestra. You compose it, it's all yours. You know, if you do the set. I was like, well, can I do it my way? And they were like, paused and looked at me, the councillors, and would say, really? And so I said, yeah, but I don't mean like, you know, my way, I just want to bring all the original artists on. Pete doesn't do that, you know what I mean? So I said, well, what, you know, for every single song? I said, yeah, for every single song. I said, well, we haven't got that sort of budget. I said, well, let me make some phone calls. So I made some phone calls, and next thing I know, I've got, you know, Adamski opening up, I've got Basement Jacks, Scuba Marder, I've got Kareem Belly Ray, Leslie coming on and doing a Donna Summer song for me, I've got, I mean, it was so special. So Adam comes on stage, Adamski first, when he first started, dum 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 dum, and he said, I haven't performed this for a long time. I said, oh no, so I hate it. Pretty easy, these guys are doing it. You know what I mean? Because they're amazing. The orchestra is just one rehearsal, two rehearsals, you know, and the room for the day and it's done. And it's like, wow. I took musician off my any kind of job title I ever had. If anybody ever asked me, I was like, I'm not a musician. I make music, yeah, but I'm not. I mean, that's musicians. You know what I mean? It's amazing.
Unbelievable.
Even the phrasing on stuff, you know. Like, remember Alison Limerick being blown away when they did Where Love Lives, and it's like, you know, like, where just the strings just make your hairs go. Like 4,000 people, the two golden hours looking down at me. I was like, you know, like my family, like, it was like, but I didn't think anybody to him, and he's pissing it down my vein, it's hurling it down my vein. And, you know, he's going anywhere, so like, and yeah, the last song, the Final Scream song, and like when we are doing, you know, come together and moving on up, and I'd come to the front just to go over and what are you doing? You know what I mean? And he went, the bottle of champagne in one hand, and there's a photograph of my hands in the air, and I brought on the choir that's got all autistic people, disabled people and stuff in from the Leeds community, you know what I mean, to sing, and I bare little thing, you know, and it was like, they were having it, they were just, you know, like, some of them couldn't sing very well, you know, in the wheelchair, but like, it's amazing. And Cliff Masterson and Clive Anderson, it's the other way around, but they were the best of them, like Michael Jackson to Paul McCartney, Kylie, you know, on and on and on, so, you know, we were in good company.
What keeps you going then, would you say? What keeps you putting the parties in you?
Amphetamine.
but what keeps you like, what is it, what's the buzz?
I mean, the amphetamine thing in the early days wasn't so much of a job when I was with Motorhead, like that's, Lemmy always said to me, I think to the day he died, it was always like that, but he was like, when he was saying, you'll always have two eyebrows, you know, you'll never fall asleep at a party and piss yourself and somebody shave your eyebrows up, you'll always get home safe. Have a little bomb of this before any of the posh stuff, That's just added extras, he said. He says, this is the backbone, you know, get you from A to B, you know what I mean? And when you get to B, if you need to get things done the next day, you know what I mean? If not slept, he says, have another little one and gets the job done, I know. I followed that advice all through my career, really. And, you know, like to go party for that many days, you know what I mean? I do Glastonbury for days and then, you know, yeah, it was a winner. What he did fail to point out, he makes your teeth fall out. So I got no guide your teeth away. But sadly, I didn't get to give him an hard time about that bit.
Yeah.
But, you know, then again, I've never pissed myself yet, and I've got 2 eyebrows, yeah.
Did you try to kind of beat Lemmy's Staying Up record?
He's the only person that, like, that has ever admitted to staying up as long as we have. Until these days, I mean, you know, so these crystal meth heads, you know, whatever, they stay up for months, but yeah, it was only the Lemmy that I recall at the time, whoever said they stayed up for 12 days, you know, nearly 2 weeks, you know what I mean? So it's like, I mean, I can find it, and we were laughing about it one time, but it was like, I mean, intravenously doing speed, this is back in, like, long before build, I mean, that's when it was cool to do things like that in the punk days, you know. But it's never been anything I thought big or clever, things like that. I just didn't really want to miss out on anything half of the time, you know. That's why in my youth I did much, you know, a lot of drugs, you know what I mean? And because I could, and just why not, you know, and I've seen many bad things happen, you know, to people, be it death, prison, or ill health, you know, down to my, if I look at all, I see more positives come out of most narcotics. But, you know, like, it's one of those things, it's like, you know, it's the creativity sometimes that I love about it, and what is all I know, it's like what I've been, you only know what you know, and it's like, you know, from all the books I've ever read are from, you know, like you mentioned, through Logan, through all rock and roll books, you know, if you look behind me, it's like, please kill me, or it's like, you know, it's either art or punk, or you know, you know, sort of spiritual things, but I don't even bother with spiritual things these days, like, I've done the cut and paste bit, I never get to read those books anyway, that's something that comes to you know, in time. I thought we were all dying in 2012, you know what I mean? I thought the tsunami was going to come and wash us all off, and that was that. That wasn't like DMT at the time, so I ended up going to, I went to Peru and did the real thing, you know, last year, and I spent a lot of time there. It's so amazing, and you just solitude in the middle of 6 weeks in the middle of the jungle, you know, like with the shaman and the tribes, and yeah, that's when you learn.
No outside contact?
No electrics, no, nothing, first name terms only. And you're puking, you're shitting, it's all coming out, it's right, you know, the shamans controlling the spirits around you, it's like, there's 12 of you at most, you know, dark and circling where you have the ceremonies. Oh mate, it's something else, I mean, like really. It's cathartic on so many levels for so many reasons. It's good for addictions, it's good for depressions, it's good for people who need to get things off the chest, you know, things are done, really bad things in some cases, you know, like the worst things in some cases. They've shot a man and can't sleep at night without seeing their eyes. They've gone for those reasons, or the grandmas have tampered with them, or the pedo granddads, and you know, people there for so many reasons, but you form a bond with these people, you know, and like virtually 95% of people I've seen and that have left, I've seen miracles happen there. They can cure things that you wouldn't even believe. I was in the Amazon, I was right down in Iquitos, and then by boat up the Amazon right into the, I mean, resistance futile, escape is impossible, so, you know, like you just throw yourself into it, you know, and you're on diets where you can't talk to people, you're getting bitten, And like, you can't get your head around the shame and tells you it's because your vibrations are lower than the mosquito. Fuck, am I paying for this insult? You know what I mean? And like, here I am in there, living in a little hut, sitting in sawdust, and I'm like, starving, and no salt, no sugar, no spice, no sex, no nothing, no. And then it gets down to no communication or touching or looking for vibrations, and you have to really find yourself, dig deep, and you're on your own, you know what I mean? Nothing to read, nothing to, you know, all things for your thoughts. You just beat yourself up, but it's that most amazing thing, and after a day or two about it, you just, oh God, doing yourself a break, and then you come to the other side of it, it's like you start telling yourself how great you are, you know what I mean? And that's where it comes from, and the fact of the cleansing, the dieta, you know, is more important than really doing the ayahuasca ceremonies, you know.
What was it like, that transition coming back here then? What was it like?
Yeah, it's really nice coming back to Western World, but you know, Western World is a really strange place to be anyway, you know. It's hard to adjust, you know. I mean, 6 weeks I was there last time, it's really hard to adjust back into the crap talk that people get on with and that as well, you know, to be truthful, you know, just the bullshit that we're having to deal with, and then you look at the news and think, bullshit, you know what I mean, and everything, you just know it's all crap, you know what I mean, and again, you're blessed or cursed, but I'm glad to have had that experience, and it saved my life, if not life-changing, life-saving, not life-saving, life-changing. But you know, I don't speak. I used to speak about spirituality all the time. But I didn't know anything about spirituality when I spoke about it. You know what I mean? It's only when I've seen people get cured of things, you know, like an appendicitis in front of my eyes and the shame and pulling it out. You know, and I've seen them fighting like shadows of the spirits, and it's just like, and he's calling on the plant spirits to help him in whichever area, and afterwards they're totally exhausted. It's just like, what the fuck, you know, is going on? And there's some of the tips are amazing.
Just throw some quick fires at you.
Yeah, cool.
Do you know what I mean? But get to know,
Yeah.
I mean, we know you for, you know, we know you.
Yeah,
but do you know what I mean? Who you are? Right, you ready?
Yeah.
Who's your favourite DJ?
Me.
Cool, so, that's cool.
It used to be Jimmy Savile, but you can't go away with that one, you know what I mean?
Favourite film?
Rebel Without a Cause, Wild One. Nicolas Cage is particularly good in Wild at Heart, and I love all the Elvis bits, and I love the fact that his snakeskin jacket stands up for his individuality and sense of personal freedom, but gets a kicking for it, you know. It's like, yeah, that's the one, you know what I mean? I wouldn't like to live in hot tuna, though, put it that way.
Favourite band?
Clash.
Clash, yeah?
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, yeah, for me, I love the Cure. I mean, the Cure have sort of come on a par with them. You know, I love the Pistols, but they're more of a fashion statement.
Yeah.
So it's tricky. It's got a. I mean, I do love the Cure. I mean, and at the moment, I probably, if I put some music on, I'd probably more likely to put the Cure on than the Clash right this minute. But it alternates in with them too. Tricky on that, you know what I mean? I missed the band the other day. I wanted to go and see. I'd forgotten all about it. I was going to go and see the Cult. But I knew Ian when he was in Bradford, you know.
That's what I mean, were he bass player from Bradford?
No, he was a singer in a Southern Death Cult, but he's like, had a broad Yorkshire accent. Next time I seen him, he was like Jim Morrison. And he's, because he's toured as Jim Morrison, didn't he, with his Doors, and he's made more money out of that, but he had this American accent as soon as he moved there, you know, to LA. It's quite funny. You know, but it's got great songs. Cecil Sanctuary is like, you know, it's phenomenal tune.
Night in or night out? I think it's a tricky one. But then again,
I mean, like, you can have great nights in, but there's nothing like a fucking good night out, is there? I mean,
absolutely.
Without a doubt, you know what I mean? Somebody said that to me, you can have good nights in, but a good night out, but there's nothing beats a good tear up, you know what I mean?
Good sesh.
Proper good out,
yeah,
you know what I mean? I mean, just I'm totally out till lunch, you know what I mean? But, yeah, night out all day long, mate, really.
Favourite food?
Thai.
You still got the Thai cafe on?
Yeah, but I like my Thai. I like the soups and that as well. Maybe that's down to the lack of teeth, you know what I mean, at the back.
It's delicious, isn't it, Thai food?
But yeah, I've eaten Thai food now.
Right. Favourite holiday destination?
Beckway in Grenadines.
Oh,
It's the island next to Mistake, but it's the untouched sort of one. I love that neck of the woods. I mean, like, all around the Caribbean is great, but you get to St. Lucia and then start getting into the thick of it, you know, down into St. Vincent and into sort of like, you know, that's Grenadine Island, neck of the woods. It's just where soca music comes from, so you hear like Red Rat, you know, that girl, silly down, you know, and it's just, you eat off the trees, the food's there, you get the fish, it's all there, but you know, it's like there's no crime, mate, you know what I mean, because that man him get cussed, you know what I mean, you don't want to get cussed, and not when you live somewhere like that, you know, like, when you just don't, when you're cussed, nobody speaks to you, you know. And they have 100% rum there, like, I mean, it's called Sundown, and I was like, Sundown, and they said, yes, because no matter what time of day you're drinking, the sun is going down, you know, and you see people like fucking laid in the floor just and they're going, no problem, it's sundown, you know what I mean, it's like...
That's class. Can you cook?
Yeah.
What speciality would you say?
What do I like cooking? I like cooking like curries or Chinese food, or Thai food, so, you know, like just simple things. I don't cook as much as I used to, you know what I mean? You know, but you're getting a dog and barking yourself. I've got things to do. Busy.
Right, final question, Mr. Beer, alright? You're cooking your Thai, you've got a bottle of red, the music's nice, 3 people dead or alive, you want round your table. 3 people that are alive. And you're cooking,
it's easy, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's easy.
You don't have to answer it,
it's just, it'd be just Alistair, Howard, and Judder and Joe, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Love you. No, I love you. Thank you so much for doing this, though. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, it's cool.
You right?
Yeah.
But I just want to say thank you for inviting me around your house as well.
No,
I know we were supposed to do this a few weeks ago, and we always kept missing each other and stuff. But I'm so glad that we've kept in touch for starters.
Did you get party on there tonight as well?
Yeah.
I'll
thank you.
I'll just put that. Thank you.